Hi, everyone. I'm Emily Manning, and I'm so excited to be your host today for Cupid's Ghost, How to Find Love When You Feel Deserted, with Dr. Diana Kirshner. Dr. Diana has appeared on Oprah, The Today Show, and starred in her very own PBS special on love. She's also helped tens of thousands of women from all over the world heal from heartbreak, build self-confidence, and find more loving relationships. So for the next full hour, Dr. Diana invites you to play full out, to do the exercises, and to make this the $1 million experience that changes your love life forever, starting now. So Dr. Diana, let's jump right in. Let's talk about abandonment. I think we've all had times when we felt that Cupid wasn't there for us. Why does it feel so bad?
Now, the reality of love, as the poet said, is that even as love crowns you, so shall it crucify you. And it does crucify you. You know, you often will feel at times deserted, disappear on you. They can cheat on you, commitment you really want, and feel horrendous. And the reason is that when this kind of thing happens, disappointing self-identity. There's your identity is not a fixed, disappointing identity, and that carries some negative judgment, some self-hate. This is where we get into talking to ourselves about what went wrong. If only I had said this. If only I had done this. Oh, I'm too old. I'm not thin enough. I'll never find love because there's something wrong with me, you know. So we start with this negative self-talk, and also these kinds of judgments spill over to others, to the men. You know, all men are jerks. Love. You know, men just can't participate in a love relationship, and so we put ourselves in a kind of wasteland, and we tend to isolate. You know, we're on the couch crying with the Ben and Jerry's ice cream. And when you isolate with this disappointing self, kind of having all this negative self-talk, it just makes you feel hellish, really hellish.
It does. So how do we heal from heartbreak or the feeling like we'll never really have the love that we want? I think we've all been there when we're hopeless. What do we do?
Yes. Well, you know, one thing that is great is meditation, any kind of meditation. Also, exercise. And here's a really important point about exercise. Do a novel. I know you don't feel like doing any exercise, but if you do some kind of movement will really help you. And anything novel will actually raise your endorphin level. Your endorphin levels, you see the feel-good biochemicals in your brain will come up if it's a novel kind of thing. If you're just doing your same old workout on the treadmill, of course, what happens is that disappointing self starts with all that horrible self-talk, you know, oh my God, you know, I'll never lose this 10 pounds, I feel so fat, I feel so old, things just don't work out for me. But if you do something novel, it's really good. And the main thing is to not isolate. Even though you may be feeling like the one thing you want to do is completely be alone, you know, and, you know, watching old movies in your pajamas, you really don't want to isolate. You want to be with loving people, with loving friends. And there are studies that show that if you're with a loving friend and you're talking about your pain, that the brain will actually create natural opioids that are painkillers that actually change that pain. You know, the pain of desertion is emotional and it's actually physical. We get aches and pains, literally aches and pains. And the brain responds with these opioids, natural opioids, when we're being loved up, when we're being understood, when we're being prized, you know, we're being held or hugged. And so this is a time to have that loving input, to get yourself loved up by someone that you respect, who understands that you are not your disappointing self, who understands how precious and how unique you really are, and how lovable you really are. And so they activate the other parts of your identity in your brain that have to do with what I call your diamond self. And your diamond self is the beautiful, unique, real you with all her special skills, her little quirks, her little idiosyncratic things that she has. The amazing you, the lovable and loving you, who has her mojo, has her charisma, and so having that, and what I call a love mentor, somebody who is self-loving, is in a relationship that is the kind of relationship you want to create, who can really love you up and help you feel, actually get in touch with and feel your diamond self-identity. And this is so profound. This is something that I've done, and I can tell you it's very, very, very profound.
And I know that you have a very special exercise, your Diamond Self mentoring exercise, that you've used with a lot of clients with major success. And from what I understand, it helps with confidence and feeling that you're lovable again. So how does that work?
Well, you can deliberately, by your intention, actually focus on this beautiful part of yourself and actually give her a name. Give her a nickname that expresses who she really is. For example, I had a mentoring client, and she was in a lot of desertion. She was feeling really abandoned and rejected. And what happened was she entered this relationship with this guy who really appeared to be her soulmate. I mean, they were just like peanut butter and jelly. And he knew about her history. She had been with a few other guys. And for some reason, he just got very, very distant and kind of paranoid about her past, and he really couldn't commit. And even though they were so amazingly simpatico, he disappeared on her. And because they were so great together, she was crushed. She was crushed, and she was crying a lot, and really in this sense of being totally alone and totally devastated. And we focused on her diamond self-work, and she went through the exercise. And she's just so gorgeous, this woman, just beautiful long blonde hair and amazing. And she named herself the chosen goddess of beauty. Actually, she works as a stylist, and she worked with that as her identity, And at first, it seemed totally like no way, like it was a joke. She just felt like a kind of rejected piece of crap, because her disappointing self was saying that. And but she went with this identity, and she just transformed herself. She dressed in the way that made her feel with these flowing robes, really beautiful, but it was coming from the inside. It was not like a makeover. It was coming from the inside about who she was. She is now, she's now in a wonderful, wonderful marriage with somebody who is her real soulmate who had the ability to commit to her, who really saw this goddess nature in her, which of course is the nature of true love. The nature of true love is that someone experiences your diamond self. Even if you can't experience it very much, they do. They do. That's the nature of healing love. They get you in a profound way, and it's such a gift. It's such a gift. I mean, I myself had a love mentor who saw me in a way that I couldn't see myself, where, you know, I just felt, you know, very much in the disappointing self a lot of the time. And my love mentor would say, you know, you're going to be a radiant beacon. And I would laugh. But I feel it now. I feel I've been living into that possibility. And I know that you can do it too. I know that you can do it too. So, would you like to do the diamond self exercise, the most profound one?
Sure, I'll be the guinea pig.
Okay, but I want
allowed to say my name.
I want all of you guys to do it also. Because remember, I want you to have $1 million webinar. I want you to really have this be a pivotal moment, a critical moment in your life. So let's start by closing your eyes. Emily, if you'll close your eyes.
Okay, I'm closing my eyes.
Okay, great. Now, I want you to remember a time where you felt lovable, you felt really connected, you felt really good and in sync with all that is. It may be when you were really little. It may be when you were a teenager. But a time where you felt comfortable and like cared for, and chosen and safe and good, where you felt good. Excellent, excellent. Try to remember that. Now I want you to put yourself in the scene so that you're looking through your own eyes. You're looking through your own eyes, okay, in the scene. And I want you to see the colors that are there. I want you to hear the sounds. I want you to really give it a kind of soundtrack. It may be a song that comes to mind, or just some kind of music that comes in. And the good feelings, even if it's just a little bit of a good feeling from this time, amplify that. I want you to amplify that. Make it 5 times stronger. This is the good experience of feeling loved and feeling safe, of feeling lovable and loving. Now make it even stronger. You're looking out through your own eyes. Make it stronger. Good. Good. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, now I want you to give that self, which is your diamond self, that's your diamond self, give it a nickname. And I want you to be wild here. I want you to have fun with this. You know, it could be any name that occurs to you, even if it doesn't feel right. You know, the disappointing self may be trying to get in there, but give it a name. Give it a name like Amazing Grace, Chosen One, Beloved Mighty Isis, you know, the you know, Precious Being, the Connected One, the Beloved One. Give it a nickname. Just dare to give it a nickname. Don't be afraid. Just give it a nickname. Okay, so Emily, would you like to share your nickname, your diamond self nickname?
Sure. So I actually had a tough time coming up with the memory, and then I finally got one. Do you want me to tell you the memory so I can kind of give people an idea?
Yeah.
When I was little, my sister threw me a surprise party, and she bought me this dress that was really cheesy. It was so, of course, being a little girl, you love the lacy dresses. I would never wear this now, but I love the dress. So it was this exciting surprise party where I loved this frilly dress. And the name I came up with was the Adored One. And I kind of wish it was a little more creative, to be honest with you.
Oh, no, that's beautiful. The Adored One. Wow, I love that. I love that. That's a good job. Really, really good job. I love that. The adored one. Okay, so everybody stay with us, and we're going to continue this exercise. I want you to close your eyes. Emily, you go ahead and close your eyes again.
Okay, I'm closing them.
Okay, good. Now get an image of your disappointing self and how that feels. Your disappointing self, you feel deserted, lonely, you may feel fat, ugly, invisible. Okay, good, good. Now I want you to take that diamond self-identity and make it the size of a hand grenade, and imagine throwing it smack dab into your disappointing identity and blowing it to smithereens, absolutely blowing it up so just nothing but little powder, and then the powder disperses and it's completely gone. Good, good. Now I want you to do that 5 more times. Blow up that disappointing self 5 more times. Fast, 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 fast. Poof, 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 poof. Good, good. You know, what you're doing in this exercise, which is really interesting, is that you're helping the neurons in your brain rewire themselves in the area that represents your identity. And you're deliberately constructing or putting in a neural net that represents your diamond self. So let's do 5 more times, blowing up that disappointing self. Poof! Blowing it up, blowing it up, blowing it up, and blowing it up, blowing it up. Okay, good job, good job, good job, fantastic. Emily, so how is it now? Has your disappointing self-image faded?
Yeah, it's actually faded. It's pretty small.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, you can actually do that as many times as you want. You can make it very rapid, and you can do that until you can't access the disappointing self-identity at all. It actually will disappear. It sometimes will come back to get you, but then you can do the exercise again and work back to your diamond self. And also, you can do this exercise anytime that you feel bad, especially if you're going somewhere. Let's say you're going out on a date, or you're going to give a presentation or a talk. You can get yourself into your diamond self-identity, which will make it so much easier, you know, for you to go out in the world. Another thing you can do is go shopping and dress your diamond self-identity, or maybe have a beautiful, let's say, like a bracelet, maybe like this, that reminds you of your identity, other clothing. And again, we're talking about an inside wiring job, you know, where you're bringing out really the real you, not the self-sabotaging, critical, mean, self-hating, self-loathing part, but the real you, which is, you know, special and unique and precious, really, really precious. There's no one like you who has the kinds of special gifts and little quirks that make you you. And this is so much fun, even though it may feel weird. It may feel, you know, when I first started doing diamond self work, I felt weird. I felt embarrassed to use any like big positive names about myself, because my disappointing self was so self-hating. It was so hard to actually say this name, you know. Right now I have a diamond self name, which is the radiant beacon of loving guidance. When I first made that name, I just couldn't even say it. I just couldn't even say it. Now it's very easy, but it's really helped me a lot. It's really helped me. And what you'll find is when you're being your diamond self, you're more relaxed, you're more confident, and people are attracted to you. They really are attracted, because that's, you know, they you give people permission to be their diamond selves.
So when we're not feeling like our diamond self, we should use that exercise where we blow up the disappointed self.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
very
fun.
powerful. Yeah.
And just to let everyone know, we actually came up with some name tags, so people can write their diamond self name on a name tag, or just, we have a little printout pieces of paper, and you can put it somewhere. So maybe put it in your closet, put it by your computer, so it doesn't have to be somewhere that people can see it, but just to remind you that that's sort of your new identity, the identity you're now going to exude to the world.
Yes, where do they go for that, Emily?
So they go, there's a button, click here for the download right below the video.
Okay, yeah.
And
they're fun.
Yeah, and we'll send them the link. We'll send everyone the link in a follow-up email with the on-demand version of this video. So be easy to download and just print out.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Dr. Diana, I wanted to switch gears. Let's talk a little bit about those men who appear and then disappear. I think
yes.
Had that happen.
Yeah. The disappearing men. Yes, yes, they love you, you're fantastic, you're amazing, blah, blah. But no text, no call, nothing. Gone into the vapor, into the ether. First of all, when you're dating, you have to understand that this is par for the course. You don't want to be in a position of taking that personally and linking it to your disappointing self in any way, shape, or form. This is the way it is in dating these days. You see, most of the men are going to disappear because there's so many different possibilities with the online dating and all that they pop up and they're like bubbles popping up and they disappear. You don't want to take that personally. What you want to do is actually date several guys casually who are good guys. And in that way, expect them to disappear. So, this one disappears, I have these two, and if this one disappears, I'll get another one over here. And you're dating them casually. You're doing it ethically. If you really like someone on the second date, you tell them, I really love being with you. I just adore it. I haven't laughed this much in I don't know how long, but I just want to let you know I'm taking things slow and I will be seeing other people. But I can't imagine liking anybody as much as you, which it really strokes the guy's ego, but at the same time shows him that you're not easy to get, which people who have self-esteem guys who have self-esteem will want to fight for you. And so this protects you from this sea of disappearance. Because when you put all your cards in one guy, one guy you're dating and it's so fantastic and he's the one, blah, 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 and you're waiting for that text and you're waiting for the email, you're waiting for the call, it's just awful. It's just awful. This way, if you're dating several people casually, you're not waiting. One calls, the other one doesn't matter. Now, of course, all the women say to me, I can't even find one good guy to date. But there are definite ways to do that, and it starts with your diamond self-work, where you're feeling good about yourself, where you have your diamond self-clothes on, you're feeling good. You will find that you will have your mojo going, your attraction going. And so that will change the way guys relate to you, absolutely, 100%. And also, it's good to use two online sites, a large site and a boutique site. Not too small of a boutique because there's nobody on there, and I go over that in a lot of my materials, and can go to Love in 90 Days or read any of the books that talk about that. And then going to activities that I call mentastic activities that are not singles events, but they're actually events that you enjoy, dancing, hiking, learning more about investing, that you're having fun with, and they happen to have a lot of men in it. So It's great. It's really fun. And I've had women go from 0 dates to having it raining men, you know. That's the truth. That's the truth.
Perfect. And I'm curious, if we go to one of those events, are we allowed to strike up the conversation first?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, yeah, yeah. And you know, and but then I want you to also kind of look away. So it's wonderful to go up, to a guy and say a sincere compliment, oh God, I love that, I love that shirt. It's fantastic. Where did you get it? Blah, 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 blah. It's real. You're being real at the same time. You're in your diamond self, right? So you're dressed as the chosen goddess or whatever, your amazing grace, your amazing grace. So that just feels so good, that feels so good to you, that feels so good to the guy, you're being amazing grace. And by the way, if you're in a relationship, being your diamond self is what turns it on. If you're in a relationship now and it's stale or empty, you do your diamond self work, you get your sensuality going, and it turns it back on. But also to the turning away too, let him pursue you a little bit, like, oh, I'm gonna go get a drink, I'm gonna go get something to eat. And so it's the nature of flirting is the warm diamond self, and then this, and so they have to come to you, and this way you get your signal, right? You don't want to waste time with somebody who's not interested, so you want to get their signal that they're shadowing, or they are saying, I'll get you a drink, I'll get you food. That's what you're looking for. Number one criterion is he interested or into you? That's number one.
Right, okay. So we can reach out, flirt, and then it's up to them to sort of make the first close, so to speak.
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the other things you talk about is the luscious cake exercise. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, the chocolate cake exercise. This is the best, guys. This is the best. This was invented by one of my expert love mentors. I have this team of amazing love mentors, that people I would go to if I ever had a problem. And Susan Kalinowski invented this. It's actually called the chocolate cake exercise. So here, let's do it. I want you to imagine eating your favorite dessert. What would that be, Emily? Would it be like chocolate cake, tiramisu, cheesecake?
So that would indeed be, it would be Linda's fudge cake from the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay. I love it. Okay, so think about that cake and how irresistible it is, and it's just sitting there, and you look at it and you really want to eat it, and you really, you begin to take your fork and you're reaching out and you're taking that moist first bite and you're going to put it in your mouth, and it's just explodes. It's so delicious. It's so yummy. And this one actually has no calories, so you don't have to worry about it because it's in your imagination. So you're eating it and you're really enjoying it, and so wonderful the way it goes down, and it makes you feel so, so good. Yes, yes, good, yes. Now, I want you to imagine that you are that dessert. That you are that dessert. You're in a social situation and you are that chocolate fudge cake. And you're so yummy and you're so irresistible. You're so delicious. You're really, really, really delicious. And you're kind of like the cat that ate the canary, you're just like smiling, and you just know how wonderfully yummy you are. Good, good, good. So, open your eyes. Now, imagine in your next situation, your next date, or your next encounter, that you're going to take all those wonderful feelings right into the scene. What would that be like for you, Emily?
That would be scrumptious.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You see how that gets your mojo going?
I do, especially
Your
the powerfully free part.
sensual feelings. We all we have to be in touch with our bodies, with our sensual feelings, and that you're opening up a kind of that makes to people really, really like a magnet. And if you minutes and do that little exercise before you go out or before you hit the bedroom if you are in a relationship, things really change. Things really change because you're giving yourself permission to be in your body and to feel irresistible. And that is happening on an energetic level. It's independent of being thin. You know, I encounter in the bedroom, and I'm so fat, or, the cellulite is there. What really happens that works in a great encounter is an energetic connection, is an actual sensual connection, which is independent of being thinner or younger or whatever the particular rap your disappointing self is laying on you. Your disappointing self is going to lay a rap on you that's really judgmental and negative. And you don't have to go with that. You can just go with your delicious dessert nature.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So go ahead.
Great. It's great. It's really, really great. It's really fun, really, really fun to do. And of course, you can also bring that into your actual physical exchanges too.
Oh, that's great. So one of the other exercises that I know works really well with your clients is the 90-second turnaround. What is that?
Yes, yeah. Well, that is a wonderful exercise to do if you're feeling very upset or, you're in this feeling of being deserted or alone or depressed about things or heartbroken. And this particular exercise will take you from feeling very upset to actually feeling connected and peaceful. And this is a really powerful one, and I'd like you to, all of you at home, and also Emily, I'd like you to just go with me now on a little imaginary guided imagery. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Good, good. Now imagine that you're laying down on a beautiful, beautiful summer day. It's an absolutely perfect, beautiful summer day. And you're laying under a large, leafy, absolutely beautiful tree. It's an old growth tree that has amazing foliage. It may have flowers on it. You're laying underneath the tree. It's absolutely the right temperature. You see the beautiful blue sky. And you're feeling really, really good because it's a perfect summer's day. Really, really perfect summer's day. And this laying down may remind you of times when you were little and you were carefree and you were whole and you were connected. And then I want you to start breathing in. And as you breathe in, you're going to imagine that tree sending some oxygen, the blessing of oxygen into your lungs. And then you're going to hold 3, and then as you exhale, you're going to exhale the carbon dioxide and any dark shapes that are actually have to do with grief in your lungs. You know, we hold the grief in our lungs. So we're going to start breathing in 1, 2, 3, taking in that beautiful oxygen, and out 1, 2, 3, exhaling the dark shapes, the grief from the lungs, and in 1, 2, 3, hold 1, 2, 3, and exhaling 1, 2, 3, exhaling all the dark, all the grief, all the sadness, and in 1, 2, 3, all the blessings, all the clean energy, all the clean oxygen. Hold and out. 2, 3, all the black energy, the grief, the sadness, and in 1, 2, 3, hold 1, 2, 3, and exhale 1, 2, 3. Good, good. Emily, how is that for you?
I liked that. It was definitely very grounding.
When you do breathing to the count of 3, that is in breath and holding and then out breath, it actually activates the autonomic nervous system, which brings peacefulness to you. It will bring peacefulness and serenity to you, which is pretty healing. And also, it releases the stress. It absolutely releases the stress. The imagery of laying under the tree, putting yourself under the tree, is opening yourself up. It's being in a childlike posture and allowing that kind of healing to come into you. And of course, as I said, the grief and the sadness is held in here. And this is something that can really move out, really move out. So that's a wonderful, wonderful thing to do, particularly if you're feeling very bereft. If you're feeling really bereft and alone, that is a wonderful exercise to do.
It's beautiful. So, Dr. Diana, I'd love to talk about your coaching program. I know that you've started this massive coaching program. You've coached a lot of women. And how can a coach or how can one of your love mentors help women sort of build their self-confidence and actually find love?
Well, it's amazing. You know, I had my own coach, and there's no way I would ever have the kind of loving marriage that I have now without having had a coach, a love mentor, and it's just so powerful. Unfortunately, there are a lot of dating coaches out there that really don't have any credentials because it's not an area that that has any licensure or anything like that. So you have to be careful about what kind of coaching you actually get. You really want someone who is really knowledgeable, who knows the ins and outs of a love relationship, who knows the ins and outs of how to date, how to find great guys online, how to find great guys offline, how to strengthen a relationship and get a commitment with a really great person so that you have the love, the relationship that really calls to your heart. And how to work with you and your disappointing self, right? Which is the sabotaging self. The self that says, I can't do it and I will never have love, right? That is ready to, that says things to you that you would never say to a girlfriend. You would never say to your best friend, you know, you look so fat in that dress. You just you look so old. So the having a coach who can help you get in touch with the diamond self and kind of like, transform that disappointing self, that it doesn't run your life. It doesn't ruin your life. It doesn't ruin or run, run and ruin. And that's quite powerful. That is really quite powerful. When you find somebody who can give you the kind of devotion and the belief in who you really are, who can validate you and but also hold your feet to the fire when you're sabotaging yourself, and hold your vision of love for you even when you falter. Even when you falter, they carry you. They will help carry you because they believe in your possibility. That changes your life profoundly. It absolutely changes your life profoundly. I can talk about so many people who have been in our love mentoring program. What happened was, so many people came when I wrote Love in 90 Days a few years back. So many people came to me and wanted love mentoring, and I couldn't do it. People from all over the world. And so I thought, well, I'm going to gather together the people who I would go to if I had a problem in love. These are people who are awesome. They're just awesome. They understand love so profoundly, about self-love, building self-love, self-confidence, and also how to get the committed, lasting, dear and sweet soulmate relationship you want. And I hand-selected these people. I trained them. I actually supervised them. I have a team of these love mentors, and they're extraordinary. They're just extraordinary. Just to talk about one situation, we had a woman who was in horrible debt. She felt like, she was failing in her work. She wasn't really dating anyone. She was about 40 pounds overweight. She was, middle-aged, and she felt so over the hill, and she started working with one of the mentors. She gave herself a beautiful, beautiful diamond self-name, which was the, vivacious vixen. She claimed that in herself. She got herself out there with the help of her mentor, and even when she said, "I can't do it," the mentor said, "You can do it." She met a tremendous man who came in and actually loved her so much, really wanted to take care of her. He paid off all her debts. He just came and he said, "I want to take care of you." It was her heart's desire to be cared for. She had a very narcissistic mother, and a father who was completely out to lunch, and she wanted to be taken care of. She was tired of being alone in the world and having to do everything herself and having to get all the money and handle all the problems. And here he appeared, and they had a beautiful, beautiful wedding. She's very, very happily married to this guy, and she, will say, "I could not have done it without a love mentor, without a practical kind of fairy godmother, who gets you to the ball, gets you out from the, sweeping the ashes or whatever, or, really judging everybody, all the guys too harshly, and basically isolating yourself, or whatever your particular dead-end dating pattern is, but a practical fairy godmother who really thinks you're amazing and knows you're amazing and helps you find that yourself and find the love you want. I mean, it's amazing. So that's what they do.
Yeah, and I've actually tried it. It's been amazing, and it makes so much sense when I think about, my friends and I going to other friends for advice, and even though they're great, we're not necessarily experts, or one will say one thing, one will say another thing, and then you're just sort of left with your hands up in the air, not sure what you're supposed to do. So it's a program that I think makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, going to your friends is one thing, and they love you and everything, but they're not gonna. Often they cannot tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's like, "Oh, he was a jerk." They're not going to tell you, that you're being too picky. Right? They're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you what you need to hear, whatever it is that you need to hear to grow as a person. It's hard to say that. A friend is there to make nice, to soothe you, which is great. It's really healing, particularly if you're upset. That's very nice. But they don't know the way. They don't know the way. Now, sometimes they've fallen into a love relationship, right? And you're the one who doesn't fall into it. They fell into it in college. They fell into it. They have no idea what to do. If you're like, you're 40 or you're 50 or you're 60 or you're divorced, they have no clue how to guide you because they've never been there. They've never been there, so they don't have the knowledge. So it's hard for them to tell you the truth. It's hard for them to have the knowledge to give you advice. They just don't know. That's why if you go to a love mentor who's advised so many women who are your age, or so many, in our group, they work together as a team, which is extraordinary. They'll have a meeting and they'll say, I have somebody who lives in a little teeny town in Yahupitz. What do you know about that? To the other love mentors, and they will come in and say, well, we had experience with this. Well, tell her to go into this group over here, this meetup group. It is so amazing to have a way to find the right person, to find your own happiness, to find your mojo, find your diamond self, and then actually be led on a path that works to find really good partners and ultimately the one soulmate.
I love that, and you also get to be yourself. You're not necessarily following really strict rules, the never call a man sort of stuff. Where you're
no, it's not. It's not about that. It's about you and who you want to be. Who you really are, who you want to be, and what is the happy self. What is the happy self you would like to choose? How would you like to end the particular suffering you've been through? And each person has been through their own particular suffering and wounding. It's unique. And so it's, how do you heal that particular wound? I had a father who wasn't interested, or I had a father that, preferred my sister. There's so many different ways that we come out of wounding into a disappointing self-identity. And a really devoted love mentor can help you heal that. Actually, help you heal that, starting that disappointing self. Heal those wounds, starting from childhood into how you've been hurt as an adult.
I love it. Let's all get our fairy godmother.
That's what I believe. I had one, so that's why I want to give everybody one, honestly. That's the truth. Only my fairy godmother was a man.
That's too funny.
So, I do have one male love mentor right now, a very handsome man who's so fantastic. He's happily married.
I was going to say, is he single?
No. He's happily married. But he's great, for the guy's perspective. So.
Oh, I love that. Well, so speaking of that, I know you have this very awesome gift to give Love in 90 Days audience. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the spectacular thing is that we are still able to give a free 40-minute session by phone and Skype, or Skype, phone or Skype, with one of the love mentors, where you get a one-on-one consultation to help you figure out where to start. And these, we just have wonderful success with these. That, for example, one woman who was really stuck with her boyfriend where he wouldn't commit, she had her free session and she was able to get engaged after that session. And in the session, they will work with your, if you want to do a diamond self exercise, they'll do that with you one-on-one. So it's a tremendous opportunity to process the questions that are most pressing for you. If you're trying to get back with your ex, if you're feeling a little hopeless, if you don't know where to start, you're coming out of a bad marriage, I highly recommend that you take advantage of this and do it soon, because quite often what happens is we get very booked up with these. And as I say, I adore these people. I really adore them because they're so great at what they do, and they're just great people.
And I actually did a free session not too long ago, and we actually accomplished stuff. It wasn't just, you know, here's who I am. It wasn't just focusing on my goals. We actually did stuff, so that was great.
Yeah, yeah, they do exercises. They will do exercises, which is where your bang for the buck is. So if you didn't do the exercises this hour, what I want you to do is watch the tape of this and do them. But also get your free session, because there's nothing like a live person to give you input. There's just nothing like it.
Right, and to have the cheerleader and the fairy godmother, and just get that input, even if it's just one issue, you just need some insight into.
Yes, absolutely. So definitely take advantage of that. And as I say, we get booked up, so jump on it.
And we actually have another freebie for people. So two in 1 hour. Dr. Diana, we're going to give away your most recent ebook to anyone who signs up and attends a love mentoring session, as long as they sign up in the next 2 days. So by 11:59 Eastern time. Sorry, I'm on the West Coast, so I think I said Pacific. So by 11:59 Eastern time on Thursday, as long as they sign up by then, they will get a free Diamond Self Secret ebook along with their free session. And we just need them to write Cupid's Ghost in the comment section of the form.
Yes, that would be wonderful. That's my latest book. It's actually directly published by Amazon. The Diamond Self Secret. Very, very useful too.
And will you tell us just a little bit about the book, Dr. Diana?
Well, there's 4 chapters, and the one you're really going to love is one about building body love, about when you're feeling not that good about your body. And another one you're really going to get a lot out of is this spiritual diamond self-work, which is very healing and has extraordinary exercises for you.
Perfect. So for everyone out there, to get your free session, we have a button just below the video. Just it's click here. It's pink. Just click there, and it will lead you directly to a page with a form. Just to fill out. It's a super easy form. You just fill that out, and again, just write in the comment section Cupid's Ghost, so we make sure that you get your free ebook. As long as after you attend the session, we'll send it to you. And yeah, so then I think your office will contact them, Dr. Diana, to set up the appointment, right?
Yes, they'll get an email actually from their assigned love mentor, and then they can just schedule and go from there and really begin changing their lives.
Yay! I'm so excited for people.
Yes. So I guess we're going to sign off. I'm wishing all of you guys tremendous love,